Well, good morning. It's October, and I'm in Alabama. Today I'm riding the Chief Ladiga Silver Comet Trail. I'm starting in Alabama, but I'm going to end up in Georgia. The trail starts in Anniston, and I'm headed north and east. Tonight I'm going to stay in Cedar Town, and the next day I'm going to make it all the way to Smyrna. The Chief Ladiga and the Silver Comet is really one trail that straddles two states. A 94-mile Hall of Fame rail trail that goes from Anniston, Alabama to Smyrna, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta. I'm going to cover this trail in 2 days. I'm starting here in Anniston, and I'm going to park my car at the McClellan Inn, where I stayed the night before. The owners were nice enough to let me park my car there for a couple of nights. It's a cold October morning here in northern Alabama, with the low temperatures down in the 40s. But it's going to warm up into the low 70s later. They're also calling for a chance of afternoon rain, so I packed all my gear in plastic and made sure my rain gear is good and handy. Here we go, Alabama. Roll Tide. Fall is a great time to enjoy this trail. Summer can be brutally hot and humid in this part of the South, but here in mid-October, the air is cool and crisp, and some of the trees are starting to show off their colors. This section of the trail is pretty rural, rolling through lots of small-town charm. I've never been here before, but the town of Weaver has already won a soft spot in my heart. At first it looked like snow, but then I remembered, I'm in Dixie now, the land of cotton. Jacksonville is known for Jacksonville State University, known for its top-notch marching band. As the day warms up, you got to start peeling off some layers. Just cruising along. Another pleasant day in Alabama. Well, all right. I'm on the Chief Ladiga Trail in Alabama. I'm about 20 miles into it. I started this morning in McClellan. Man, it was cold this morning. Temperatures down in the 40s. It's supposed to be nice today. Well, at least in the morning. Calling for a chance of showers this afternoon. So I got to get to Cedar Town, hopefully before it starts raining. So I'll catch you down the trail. The trail passes through the Talladega National Forest, but remember, it's not a race. So you can slow down and enjoy the beauty, quiet, and solitude on this part of the trail. When you get to Peidmont, there's a cool place to stop called Elevated Grounds. It's a restaurant and coffee shop with great food and atmosphere. The owner, Brandon, runs a shuttle service on the trail. More about the shuttle later. Chief Ladiga ends at the state line. Gateway Park is a nice rest stop to take some pictures and straddle the state line. All right, I am at the Georgia-Alabama state line. This is where the Chief Ladiga Trail changes over to the Silver Comet Trail. So the cool thing about the Chief Ladiga and the Silver Comet Trails is they straddle two states. I've got about 15 miles to go to Cedar Town. That's my destination for tonight. I got a motel reservation, staying in Cedar Town. All right, see you down the trail. The Chief Ladiga Trail, named after a Muskogee tribal leader, starts in Anniston, Alabama at the west end and heads eastward toward the Georgia state line, where the name of the trail changes to the Silver Comet, and the surface of the trail changes from asphalt to concrete. The Silver Comet Trail is named after the passenger train that used these tracks from 1947 to 1969. Continuing east into Georgia, the trail turns from asphalt to concrete and the name changes to the Silver Comet. Alright, I'm in Georgia. I'm on the Silver Comet now. I left the Chief Ladiga Trail back at the state line. The trail's in awesome condition. The trail in Alabama was all blacktop. It was all asphalt. And there were a few bumps, but mostly in really good shape. But the trail here in Georgia, the Silver Comet, is concrete so far. And it's really nice. I got a few more miles to Cedar Town. I got a hotel reservation. I'm going to stay there tonight. And then tomorrow I'll head to Smyrna. They're calling for showers this afternoon. And I can see it's starting to cloud up. I checked the radar. It doesn't look good. So I'm trying to boogie here to beat the rain. Get to Cedar Town before I get wet. Alright. So I'll catch you down the trail. Felt like a nice downhill grade all the way into Cedar Town. That's good, because the clouds keep rolling in, and I'm trying to outrun a rain shower this afternoon. I got to Cedar Town just in time. I checked into my hotel room, looked out the window, and I saw it started to rain. Cedar Town is a cool old town in northwest Georgia. Well, all right, this is day 2. I left Cedar Town early this morning, about the crack of dawn. It was a cold start today. Temperature's down in the 40s. But I'm headed east from Cedar Town, and the trail leaves the railroad bed, and it goes across country. There's some major little steep hills right here through this section. I was told about a 10-mile section of short, steep hills, one after another after another. Well, here I am. Headed toward Rockmart. Gonna stay in Smyrna tonight. It's gonna be a great day. They're calling for sunshine all day long, so I don't have to be chased by the weather, and I can just ride leisurely all day. All right, I'll see you down the trail. Between Cedar Town and Rockmart, the trail leaves the rail corridor and heads over land. There's about a 12-mile stretch there that has plenty of hills, some that are pretty steep, the biggest of which, I was told, goes over an old landfill. It's covered by about 10 feet of dirt, and it's known locally as Trash Hill. East of Rockmart, it's pretty easy to tell when the bike path becomes a rail trail again. From Rockmart, the trail continues east toward the Atlanta suburbs. Along the way, the trail is tree-lined and shady. There's plenty of rock cuts that expose the underlying bedrock, and it tells an interesting geologic story. When you leave the rock cut, the trail drops off on both sides, dissecting a deep ravine on its way to the next rock cut. I can really appreciate this concrete trail. The surface is smooth and wheel resistance is low, making riding pretty efficient. Every Hall of Fame trail should have at least one tunnel. A Hall of Fame trail should have a long, tall trestle, like the pumpkin vine trestle. I'd love to chuck a pumpkin off this trestle. There's plenty of kudzu to go around. This time of year, watch out for walnuts on the trail. I've heard of at least 2 people this year that crashed their bikes by running over a walnut. They both sounded like pretty nasty crashes. So be careful out there. Cycling along on a rail trail like this, I enjoy the quiet, solitude, and remoteness. There's plenty of small towns steeped in old-timey southern charm. But as the trail gets closer to Atlanta, understandably, there's more industry and development along the way. With all these modern subdivisions, come more people. As you get closer to Atlanta, expect to see more cyclists, runners, hikers, and mothers pushing strollers. I rode past a cool skate park with some kids showing off their stuff. If that was me, I'd break a bone for sure. I miss the solitude, but it's great to see all these people outdoors enjoying the trail. The eastern terminus being so close to a large population center, 6.5 million people in the Atlanta metro area. I'm glad I live in the country. All this traffic is nuts. I finished the ride in Smyrna, a western suburb of Atlanta. I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express and took the east-west connector to get there. The next morning, I followed the same east-west connector that looped around to the Mayville Trailhead, where I was going to meet my shuttle. Brandon, the guy who runs Elevated Grounds in Peidmont, Alabama, met me there at the trailhead, and for $200, shuttled me all the way back to my car in Anniston. It was almost 100 miles. Brandon's a great guy, and he knows the area well. So if you're going to ride this trail for the first time, and you need some help planning your trip, call Brandon at this number. And by the way, this is not a paid advertisement. I just think Brandon runs a great service that might be useful to you. Overall, I would say that the Chief Ladiga Silver Comet Trail in Alabama and Georgia is excellent and well worth doing. It definitely lives up to its Hall of Fame status. Come in the spring when the wildflowers are blooming, or come in the fall when the leaves are changing color. This is a great trail, so put it on your list. Well, that's it for me here in Alabama and Georgia, the Chief Ladiga and Silver Comet Trail. Hope to see you down the trail. Thanks for watching. Now go ride your bike. Roll Tide!